Hello, I apologize that I don't get to be with you for the very first day that you are working on building your e-learning lessons. I'm leaving you in capable hands. Mrs. Wyron will be with you. Kyle and Abby will both be there to support you as well as your e-learning teachers. Lindsay and other teachers that are very tech savvy and can pick up this stuff quickly. But I did want to go over just a few key details that you need to keep in mind as you are starting this process. There's a lot of information presented last week, and so I want to make sure that you focus in on the things you need to know right now. The first thing being that you are making a lesson for each block that you teach on Riverton days. You might have some duplicates, so you might be able to use the same lesson for more than one block, but for each unique section that you teach on Riverton Day, that's how many lessons you will be presenting. Also wanted to remind you about the structure, that you need to have all those four components to your lesson as a classroom teacher. The extension content comes from the special ed teacher, so you'll want to collaborate with them to find out what kind of modifications might need to be included for special education students, and that content would then go into your extension area. Remember, we are following a blended model as well, so it does not need to be entirely digital. It cannot be entirely offline. We'll come back to that in a second. Another thing I just wanted to remind you of, because I've had a couple questions to this effect, remember that we're giving you 2 PD times to kind of get your feet wet with lots of support and really dig into this process. But you are responsible for 7 hours of makeup time because you had February 24th off for snow. So we're considering that you're probably going to put in more than just those 2 PD times that we're giving you to building this lesson, and we're going to let that account for up to 3 hours of your makeup time that you have to account for as well. So there is an expectation that you will spend some time beyond the 2 PD sessions that we are giving you to get this lesson completed. So we just want to make sure everybody's clear on that. If you're not really understanding that, feel free to talk to myself or one of the administrators, but you can't count both. The PD time that you're getting this week and next week doesn't count towards that 3 hours because that's time that's already in your schedule, so you can't double dip. A couple of rules to remind you of. Your lesson cannot just be a big packet of stuff to do. There has to be an instructional component. There has to be something where you're teaching. Now, you may be teaching a review lesson. It may not be you teaching. It may be a video that you have found of somebody else teaching that concept, but there has to be instructional components to your lesson. That's very, very crucial. And also that your lesson should fit with the current place in the curriculum. Remember that this window is opening up late May, so it's probably going to be review material, I would imagine, at that point, or maybe preparations for a final exam or something like that. But it should fit with that. It shouldn't be a totally off in left field random topic that has nothing to do with what you've been doing in class. Okay, in terms of how to really dig in and get started, you're going to go to your Google Classroom space, which is probably how you got to this, and open the assignment that I've created for building and submitting your lesson. That is due on May 11th. So you have a full month to complete this. Make sure you read the assignment instructions. There's a few instructions there for you. And then you're going to enter that e-learning lesson building course that I've created. That course will walk you through each step of the way. It'll be very helpful to you, I think, in just kind of going one step at a time through this process and not trying to just figure everything out. Within that course, there are kind of little mini courses that you can pull up for each of the different platform options. So you can jump into the e-learning lessons in SMORE, for example, mini lessons, and just see exactly what you need to do in and how it looks in SMORE, like how to add a video in. So those are provided for you within that main course as well. When you're all done, there'll be a form for you to submit your course, your lesson link in, and a chance for us to review that and move on. This is the complete timeline we talked about last week, but all I really want you to focus on right now is May 11th. That's really the only date that you have to worry about. At this point in time, that's when we need to have these lessons completed. Along the way, you're going to get more information about, hey, it's time to sign up for your office hours and things like that. But right now, all you need to be focused on is getting these lessons built by May 11th. Please remember that I am only an email away. All you have to do is shoot me your question. Let me know that you need some help with something, and I will make sure that I provide that for you. Good luck and happy lesson building.